Legionnaires of the Lariat, welcome back to another episode of I Still Call Her Lariat, and today we are going to preview Wrestle Dream 2025. I'm your host, Michael Wright, and as always with me is my tag team partner, Steven Zapf. Steven, how are we doing today?
Oh, looking forward to a second weekend of wrestling. This is now we have an eight match card for AEW. That's actually a little light for them.
I'm assuming this is just half the card.
Yeah, they're gonna add Friday night. They're gonna add 13 matches.
Collision to everything.
Just everything. No, I think this will be good. There's a couple matches on here that I am excited for. I'll get into it more on the main event, the world title match, but there was an announcement today that goes along with this, and I will reserve that until we get there.
Cool.
So this way I can get your live opinion. Showtime.
Boo Earns.
No prep.
No, oh my. I feel on the hot seat.
You're there.
It's always hard following up the two biggest shows of the year. All Out, just kind of coming from there. So I am curious how that they're going to come together here. This card on paper does feel a little lackluster because All Out was so good. And I think, All Out might have been the best show of the year. In a retrospect, I know there was a couple matches that we weren't crazy about, but if you look from start to finish,
it's a well put together card.
Yeah, it was probably better than SummerSlam. WrestleMania is probably the one show that eclipses it.
And it's not so much the card for All Out. It was more that a lot of times with some of these matches for All Out, they just didn't know how to finish the conversation, is how I keep putting it. Mm-hmm. They could have cut it off a little sooner, and that would have been the better finish. But all around, it's definitely a better card than WrestlePalooza. I think it was better than Crown Jewel. Overall,
Paris.
It was definitely better than Clash in Paris.
All In, Forbidden Door.
Yep.
Like I said, SummerSlam. And there was don't get me wrong, SummerSlam was great. But All Out was a good card. So kind of looking at that and comparing it to this card on paper just kind of shows a little bit of it's like an exhale. And it's weird for you to feel like an exhale for AEW. That's all of WWE's PLEs outside of the big four. It's all just exhales.
Just one big exhale.
It's weird for them.
I said this to I don't think I've said it on the air with you, Showtime, but it's like we've got one of the out of the two big ones, because TNA is still technically the number 3 right now. We've got one that sits at one end of the spectrum, and we got one that sits on the other end of the spectrum, and they're both too far into both ends. Mm-hmm. I want something that sits right in the middle of this, and I think as wrestling fans, we'll get that. I think if TNA gets a real media rights deal soon, I think that might be where it comes in. But right now, we have AEW, which goes way too action heavy to the point where they do things that are unbelievable. And I don't mean unbelievable like it's amazing. I mean it's not
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. You can't do it. You can't suspend disbelief for it. You can't suspend disbelief of the legality of the situation sometimes. And then where WWE kind of just sits in that you're gonna watch this either way type situation. Mm-hmm. It's a lull. It's like you said, it's one giant exhale. But we'll see. This could be, maybe they'll turn this around. This is also both these pay-per-views and PLEs from the latest two from WWE and AEW are both coming pretty quickly off of their last ones.
They are. This is kind of. I'm happy that they're not on the same day as WWE. It's one PLE, or this is a pay per view, right? So
Yes.
the this being by itself is nice, and it being on Saturday is even better. That means I'll be able to watch it before we're supposed to review it. Because I feel like it's always on Sunday. It's always hard to catch up with those matches. But let's kick it off because there's a lot going on here. Um, you know, it's funny. Nothing overly jumps out at me, but I think that's because this card is pretty evenly distributed, and I'm curious how it's going to come off. I really do expect this card to be better than what it looks like on paper. Not that it looks bad on paper; it just looks kind of in the middle. Yeah, not even mid. I wouldn't even call it because I feel like mid has a negative connotation to it.
It looks like a B- card. It looks
sure,
like a B-
or even
card.
just B. Like, don't even give it the minus. It's not quite B plus, but it could just be a B. Like a
but if
B.
This could be a card that surprises us that turns into an A.
Yes, 100%. And that's what I'm trying to get across. So let's start. We have on here, and I don't know. I feel like we never get AEW's card order right. And they do always keep you scratching your head on what's going to happen. So like we went 5 for 5 in Crown Jewel. I doubt that we go and sweep the board here. So we're going to start with Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. Steve, what are you thinking about this match?
I want to care about this match more. I do. And this isn't a knock on this match as much as we said this last month or for the last show for AEW. Jamie Hayter's fall from grace has just been, oh, like, this is a real thing. We need to study this. Like, Jamie Hayter is the epitome and like the masterclass of out of sight, out of mind, because she was gone before she left. She was super hot. She was super over. And then she came back and kind of no one cares. And I don't know if it was the way they brought her back, if it's the look that she's gone with since she's come back. I don't know where it is. I'm going to go with Tekla on this. I think Tekla has a huge amount of upside. I think she does a lot of really great stuff in the ring. I think she has a psychological part of her persona that I really dig about it. And she's got the other two people with her, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue, which I think that pushes her over the edge. I think Tekla at this point in both their careers has more upside for the AEW women's division, and it's a better option to put her over on Jamie Hayter right now to start that ascent.
Yeah, I think when choosing this match, that's exactly where my head is at. Like, what is the priority from the back? Is do we establish a new star, or do we reposition an old one? And it's not really AEW style to go backwards. And so in that situation, I think that they have something potentially special with Tekla. So I'm gonna have to agree with you. This is where they kind of take that moment to kind of establish her over on Jamie Hayter. It could go either way. I really do think that, and I think there's going to be some surprises on this card that we don't quite call out, that we kind of miss in this review. But I'm with you. I think that Tekla probably wins this one, and we kind of see where they send her next. Cool. The next match we have on this list is a trios match, and you've never seen this one before, Steven.
Not once. Brand new match just came out yesterday.
We have the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand. And what I think we have here is going to be a pretty solid match with this crew. This crew are fun together. There could be some shenanigans that we're missing here. But at the end of the day, we just saw this. The Demand went over, similar to what we were talking about with Big Bronson Reed and Roman. The only reason that you put these guys together in a match this close after facing each other is so that the Hurt Syndicate can go over. I really don't see why the demand would go over twice, unless it's to completely break up
I was
the Hurt
just
Syndicate.
I was just gonna throw that at you. So technically, this is realistically the third time they're going over right now. So they went over. I just found out they went over as a tag. They went over as a tag team as well. So that's another thing is they went over recently as a tag team. I'm gonna pose this one to you. Is this or I agree with you. Wrestling math demands the demand.
It needs this pound of flesh.
Yeah, demands that they lose here. Unless, and here's the only way that wrestling math still works. Even if this is not the Hurt Syndicate totally breaking up, is this the Hurt Syndicate breaking away from MVP? If something happens where MVP were to take the loss again, is this going to establish us as, or establish him as the true weak link in this? Like, hey, we lost because of you for this. And especially, I haven't gone and watched their tag team match, so I don't know the reason why they lost in their tag team match. Unfortunately, that happened tonight as we were recording. So I only recently saw that result. And my thing is, if they lost because of MVP there as well, is this the opportunity for MVP to get kicked out, maybe come back with MJF when he comes back from his honeymoon, his movie, whatever, Finding a Smile, whatever the hell it is. That's the only thing that makes me wonder about this. But again, this is also, this is not a knock on AEW, but I don't know if AEW looks that deeply into their storytelling sometimes. And with that said, I think I'm going to have to agree with you for the Hurt Syndicate right now. We're recording this currently on Wednesday. By Friday, I might change my mind on that one, and I'm giving my asterisks on that one that I might. And I'll give you, and I will, Showtime will absolutely text you my reasoning behind changing my mind. This way you can decide if you want to change yours as well.
Sure. Either way, I just, again, shenanigans could happen here. I just don't think this match makes that. Like, if you're going to have them lose again and do all of those things, do it on Dynamite.
I agree.
You don't need to prolong it and take up a spot on this card where other people could be.
I hit my button. Sorry. I agree. I think the next match is going to be where my real heartbreak is, by the way.
So, Steven, I'm curious on the heartbreak that you're kind of thinking about here. So we'll move on to the next match with Kyle Fletcher, our TNT champion, versus Mark Briscoe. So tell me, what's so heartbreaking here?
I'm sorry, I'm jamming out to
careful.
I'm jamming out to AC/DC real quick in my own head.
You think we can get demonetized, but we're not monetized in the first place. So
they can't take anything away right now. So, haha, fooled you. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe, which will undoubtedly be my favorite match of this show.
I have to agree.
I think I love both of these guys. Here is where my heartbreak is going to come in, I think, though. And I say this because even though I love what's going to happen, because I love him, I think Mark Briscoe goes over in this match.
Do you?
I do.
I was on the fence here.
And here is why. Briscoe was getting labeled as the guy that couldn't win the big one, and then he beat MJF. And now they're going to keep, I think we're at the point where they're going to try to keep this rolling a little bit. And if it was me, and I'm holding the pencil or the pen or the typewriter or whatever we are using to write the storylines, I think it's more interesting to have Kyle Fletcher lose the belt here. And my reasoning behind this is Kyle lost to Hangman last month. Okada held on to his title. Takeshita went and got the IWGP title. And if Kyle loses, this gives a nice little bit of dissent between Kyle and Don Callis if they wanted to. And I'm a big believer right now because of how many people they have injured. They do. They have an injury bug going right now. Swerve is out. Ospreay is out till who knows when from this neck surgery thing. Bryan Danielson is probably not coming back ever. You have a lot of guys, and you have Darby and Moxley just stuck in the world together for some reason. But you have a lot of baby faces that are not there right now. And you could take Kyle Fletcher, and he doesn't necessarily even need to be a true babyface, but he can be that young, he can fill that Will Ospreay spot. And I'm not comparing him to Will Ospreay. That's not where I'm at. But that spot, that good looking guy that puts on a great match that you want to see win, he fills that void. At least until Ospreay comes back. And it would be a nice little bit of Don Callis being like, well, at least some of my guys handle their business.
So you're right. And this was the point I was going to make as well as we came on this. The top of this card is wide open. Like, I feel like for a while there, it was congested at the top. And like they had too much talent that they knew what to do with. And then they all vanished. And what you need to do in order to keep this fresh is build talent. And this match, the way you choose it, I was going to go Briscoe as well, and I'm going to go Briscoe because, unlike you, I chose him last time too. Briscoe is a perfect person that can go up against anybody.
Everybody.
Like, you can have Briscoe wrestle a face without having to be a heel because he's crazy. And you can have him fight a heel. And he doesn't even have to be the face, even though he is, because he's crazy. And
so crazy.
He's got momentum. For the longest time, he's always, like, I feel like he always had the ability to beat anybody, but always just did the thing that eliminated him from the match in the first place. And if he can kind of rein that in, I think it's very believable that he could beat anyone. Like, he could be the one that takes the title off of Hangman. And super believable in that. And that's where I want to see them take him. Let's get froggy with it, man. And so that's why I was on the same page. Like, I was torn because I think it's actually a little premature to take this off of Kyle Fletcher. Like, you just had a title match and then have him lose again. It's not that it's predictable, but it's a little formulaic. Like, the downfall starts and that's what a lot of people are calling for Monet as well. And I actually like the Monet one better because she just has so much gold that, like, kind of it snowballing on her, avalanching a bit, is actually a fun storyline, which I don't think happens here at Fletcher. Don Callis is going to be Don Callis, 100% kind of the way you said it is what I would think happens if he loses this. I could see us being wrong here as well. Like, these matches are really close to call, but I think that it might benefit both of these gentlemen for Briscoe to go over, because this will elevate Briscoe and it'll allow Fletcher to elevate himself. And
I agree.
So, like, that's kind of why it makes the most sense in this one. But at the same time, Briscoe losing this match takes nothing away from him.
I agree. I agree that as well. Well, I mean, there was a long time where Briscoe just wasn't winning. So at least we're getting to the point where we believe he could win this title.
But when he wasn't winning, he was never any less a threat.
Exactly.
Whereas
because he's with Mark Briscoe.
Yeah. Whereas Kyle Fletcher losing to Hangman, losing to Briscoe, he has to build back up after that. where Briscoe doesn't need to do that, in my opinion. Like, he just does some silly stuff that injures himself. He does one of the frog splashes to no one. Like, Fletcher's not even in the ring. He just does it, takes himself out with it because he thought it was a good thing to do in the moment.
Because he's crazy.
Because he's crazy.
He's crazy.
So, like, that's the that's what I mean on that front. So I'm with you. I'll go Briscoe, and then be more excited on what Fletcher does afterwards. So, like, I'm excited to see where they take that.
I think it leaves a little bit more intrigue to see him without a title. And let's not forget, he's 27 years old. Like,
100%.
There's so much that we can do for him. And, like, there's what happens today doesn't necessarily define him for the rest of it. So long as he, like, there's nothing that we can't, there's nothing that we can't rubber band off of and fix real quick.
Agreed. Yeah, it's just going to take a moment to step back up. Like, he needs a little lull before he jumps back up, because he has this golden child feel about him right now.
I agree.
Cool. Well, Steven, your favorite type of match is up next. We have, for $500,000, Smackaroos. Like, you have the Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks, which I'm excited for, because honestly, I wasn't really paying attention when Jurassic Express was a thing. So I know that this is a big deal. I'm really excited to see them in the ring. I'm excited to see them in the ring with the Young Bucks, even though their storyline and conflict makes no sense whatsoever. The Young Bucks ignored me in this moment in time, but I think it's but whatever. I think it'd be foolish to pick against the Jurassic Express in their first match back. I know that the Young Bucks do have kind of a lull, but Bucks win sometimes. But at this moment in time, I think Jurassic Express takes this one down.
I think they're supposed to. I also think, and I think this is a Jack Perry thing. So let me just say it that way. I think Jack Perry has been trying to position himself into a different spot than a spot after this as well, because they got the they're getting the baby face pop right now. They're coming back out to Tarzan Boy, which I'll pop for that.
Luchasaurus is back.
He's back to being Luchasaurus. But, like, even the way all of this came about, Jack Perry hasn't looked like a great guy. He unburied a dead Luchasaurus, an allegedly dead Luchasaurus, put him in his traveling lab, and injected him with, Lazarus pit emission to bring him back from, basically to bring him back from the dead. And then he shows up, he's got a knife on his hip. And even like his demeanor and stuff like that, it's not face. It's definitely not a face demeanor. And I could see this. I don't think it happens here. I agree with you. I think Jurassic Express wins this match. But I think down the road we start to see something here where Jack Perry maybe isn't such a good guy, because realistically, as a shoot, Jack Perry is not always the best babyface on the planet. As far as
Jack Perry might be the least likable person in wrestling.
He is up there. He is absolutely up there.
In a world that breeds unlikable people.
Yeah. I agree with that.
There are some burglars of turds in wrestling.
In pro wrestling.
Gloves up to their elbows, just burgling turds. And Jack Perry is up there. Even right or wrong in his history. I'm not taking sides, anything like that.
Jack
I just feel like he's very easily hated.
Jack Perry burgles turds so much he doesn't even use the gloves.
Gross.
He's like, it's cool. I'm just gonna steal this turd.
Cut in half with his hip knife.
Yeah, with his hip knife. But like that's my thing. And like when he was supposed to be a babyface, he was at a convention and he gave crappy answers to fans. Like,
sure,
I get it. You want to be a pain in the ass in the locker room. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's neither here nor there as far as I'm concerned. You're a pain in the ass in public. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, I guess you can say for him, at least he does fly a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to give him the idea of, well, he hasn't gotten any bigger since he's been signed, because that's one of my knocks on some of these guys, where Kyle Fletcher has molded his body into such a thing. Like, he looks like a different guy than he did 2 years ago. Aside from the beard, Jack Perry looks exactly the same. He still looks like my toe doesn't fit in his pant leg type of thing.
It's a vivid description. I just think, like, there is quite a few unlikable people. I just think he's easily in that.
He's
place.
easily up there.
If there's anyone that can hide his unlikability,
it's a dinosaur.
Well, it's the Young Bucks.
Oh, and the Young Bucks, yeah. Like we have given like 3 of the most unlikable people in one match. The other ones towards the end of this card.
Well, yeah, and then you got Luchasaurus, who is like thumbs up. Like, everyone loves that.
I'm gonna do everything I can.
How do you not love that?
I'm a dinosaur. Roar.
Roar. So the winner of this definitely gets $500,000 in real life.
Totally. Because this is a great gimmick. And I swear Vern Gagne didn't use this gimmick, and it didn't suck back then.
Though I actually think it does fit the Bucks really well, and I'm entertained with the no luck Bucks right now. So
listen, at least the no luck Bucks, this whole thing is keeping them away from the tag team titles and from like the main event scene.
I will agree with you on that one. We're going to keep this in the world of tag teams. We're going to actually go to the tag team titles, where we have Brodito versus the Callis family of Okada and Takeshita. So, Steven, what you thinking?
I prefer if you use his full government name. That's Konosuke Takeshita, the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Thank you.
Did he get that legally changed?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he did it when he got married.
But he didn't have the title then.
So there's wait, let me just count. All right, 1, 2 for Brodito, because the tag team titles have 2 titles. Okada is carrying around 3 titles. Takeshita is holding a title. So that's 4 over there. So there's 6 title belts that are going to be over in this match right here.
There are.
So this match does nothing except for lead into Okada versus Takeshita for the IWGP title.
That's true.
Which means Brochacho wins this match, right? Like, I think that's the way that this has to go.
I think you're right. I was more certain that Brodito was going to win this match at All Out. I was certain. I picked that. It's one of the ones I picked up on you, and I'm not rubbing that in. I'm just making a point. Though I did, and now I'm rubbing it in.
Rubbing it
in. So now is where, like, we're getting to the months where I'll be more inclined for them to have the opportunity to take these belts off of them. It just wasn't going to be the very next card. But I'm with you. I think we are building towards that. And it's the feud that we all want.
It is.
I think like a real one. I know they've wrestled before.
Only once.
and it was a
It was the three-way. It was the three-way with the third guy that we didn't need in there.
And that was the third guy was the one that was in there that kind of get there. So like this is like a match. This is a kind of a program that I want to see longer term. Like I don't want one and done. I want these two to go at it for a while. So I actually like the slow build. So I could actually really see.
I was just going to ask you
them winning the titles, but I think I agree with you. I don't think they do.
But I was just going to ask you, like, could you see them winning the titles?
And this could be the one we get wrong here, because right now we've picked all the same stuff. But this is the one I could be the most inclined to say we should have known better. Like, add more titles to the pile here. That's the right way to go about
and
this.
Is it, or I think I'm almost talking myself out of it at this point, is do we see them win the tag team titles and they're forced to be the tag team champions that don't really like each other? And the only reason why I don't know if that's the road we go here is AEW started with that. Although Tony has kind of openly said he's trying to get back to what they were doing in year one, which I don't understand. That's neither here nor there. I don't understand that thought process. If they're trying to get back to what they were doing in year one and Tony's just, booking it the way he books it sometimes, I could see Okada and Takeshita win in this because they would be the tag team champions that don't like each other. And they literally opened up AEW with that. The first tag team champions were Hangman Page and Omega. And they did that over the Bucks, who were the clear cut, like they should have been the clear cut first champions, or at least the Lucha Bros, one of those two teams. And they went with that, and they did this whole storyline of Hangman and Omega not liking each other and then never giving us a payoff. At least with this, we might get a payoff. I just, I don't know. I think it should be Brody. I think Brochacho should win this one. I don't,
and that's what we both. That's what I've written down for both of us.
I'm sticking with that for now.
A path, and that's the cool thing about this card. There's no way at this point in time have we swept these 5 matches. No. I'm convinced we're wrong on 1 to 2 of them. And wouldn't be surprised if Fletcher wins. Wouldn't be surprised if the Hurt Syndicate falls apart. Wouldn't be surprised if they're like, you know what, Hayter was a big deal. We're gonna put her over here.
Yeah, we're gonna try to build that back up.
So the Young Bucks, I'm pretty convinced that they're gonna lose. But again, they're the Young Bucks. Well,
but this is also one of the ones that I could see us getting wrong. Is Okada Takeshita coming away with even more titles and making it seem like the Don Callis family is not weird.
Imploding. So next we have the Women's World title. For the first time in what feels like forever, we're talking about challenger Timeless Toni Storm versus Chris Statlander. And probably the match that should have happened on the last card rather than having all those different people on there. But we have Chris Statlander versus Timeless Toni Storm for the Women's World title. Even though Statlander did pin her in that match, we got ourselves a rematch, which I'm actually really excited for. This is probably... Trying to look. This probably, again, it's Tony, so maybe the match I'm most looking forward to seeing in this night. That previous tag team match, I think, is going to be actually really good too. So I'm really excited about that. And you're right, the Briscoe Kyle Fletcher match.
Briscoe Fletcher, I think, is still gonna. I think that's still where I'm sitting the most. Another caveat to this match, Showtime, is this is the first time these two are having a singles match.
Oh, that's cool. I don't think I realized that.
I think ever, or it's either the first time they're having a singles match or the first time that Statlander is having a singles match for the AEW Women's World title. It's one of those two, but I think it's the first time they're facing each other in a singles match, which I think that's really, really interesting. I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Yeah, it's my turn. Back
It is your turn.
It's my turn.
I just wanted to get that point out.
Yeah, sure. Again, I feel like a broken record. I could see this going both ways. The thing I talked about this a lot last time around. I think they're going to position Tony, and honestly, I'm not fully up to speed. I got to do a little bit of watching of the shows, but I think they're setting Tony up to be the inaugural tag team champions for the women's. So if I missed something in there, I'm still playing a little catch up on the AEW world. But I think that this is where Chris Statlander actually goes over and solidifies herself as the women's champion. It wasn't just because there were so many people in there. Had like going over on the dominant champion twice really elevates somebody. And I don't think it takes anything away from Tony. They could throw Tony in this match again and have her win it, and it'll be like none of this ever happened. But at this moment in time, I think Chris going over is really what elevates her to the next level here.
I agree. I think it'd be dumb to have her win on that shocker and then have her be a transitional champion.
Yeah, that's not even a transitional champion. It's just because like I feel like you transition to something new.
Yeah, it would just
you
be
don't
like,
transition to the person
back to what you were. Yeah, like this is just it would just be silly.
It would have worked in Perth because of the boomerang.
Boomerang, yes, and I mean Tony Storm is Australian, so
maybe, but this is not in Perth, so that's.
I mean, even though she's from Warner Brothers Studios, like the Animaniacs.
Yes, 100%. They're cousins.
They are. I mean, she kind of looks like Dot.
Yeah, they could be cousins, sisters, not sisters, because.
Hello, Timeless.
Yes, definitely, constantly. Though I'm really pumped for this match. I guarantee you, Chris Statlander kicks out of the Storm's End.
You think so?
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, I think a regular one, and then I think she goes for that elevated one, that super one, and I think she reverses that one somehow.
Sure. I won't guarantee that aspect of things. You're probably right, but I guarantee you she kicks out of a Storm's End.
Yeah, I could see that. I hope not, but I could see that.
Me too. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm calling that. They've had people kick out of it recently. I feel like they're wavering on it. I think that having a pile driver that actually puts somebody down is a good thing to have. Dropping you on your head and neck is a bad thing to happen to you. But
bad.
That's just me. Call me crazy. Just don't call me as crazy as Mark Briscoe.
You're not. You want to know where people are going to get dropped on their head a lot? In the match that we're probably about to talk about.
Can you say I quit if you have brain damage?
I don't know. We're going to find out because he doesn't say I quit because death jutsu.
I know Kung Fu.
No, you don't.
Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley in a never-ending feud that isn't really that long, but feels like forever. An I Quit match. Steven, tell me about this match.
I don't want to.
All right, let's move on.
I don't want. Darby wins. Darby wins because he lost last month.
That's
the only reason.
If you're gonna elevate Darby, you gotta have him stop losing to Moxley. This match is gonna be fine. It's probably the one I'm least.
It's gonna be dumb.
Moxley doesn't throw me. Darby, I just don't get Darby.
It's going to be dumb. That's all I can say is it's going to be dumb.
Yeah.
Moxley's already bleeding.
He's already bleeding.
He has a fork stuck in his forehead already.
Mm-hmm. Or does he? Maybe the spork. You don't know.
You know what? I would be so much happier if it was a spork. Like if he went to KFC real quick and got a spork.
Got a quick spork and we're good. We'll move on before we ruin the show. You have Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe in a match that I'm more and more excited about the more I think about This is
Here's
actually going to be fun.
This is going to be fun. Showtime, here is what I wanted to tell you. And I said I wanted your live. I wanted to tell you this so that I could get your live reaction and so that we could incorporate this into the choice for this match. Samoa Joe has announced that at the end of his AEW contract, he will not be renewing and he will be retiring from wrestling also.
Mm-hmm.
Do we give Samoa Joe one last run? And does it start here?
Maybe. Oh, I go first. Okay, so I can't answer this. Maybe it starts here, but I don't think so. I think that they're in the middle of Hangman doing his thing. And honestly, I don't buy it either from Joe. I can easily see his contract ending and then him showing up in WWE one last time. So let's not get retirement happy quite yet. Joe's he's not that old, is he?
I think he's older than AJ. Maybe.
Is he older than AJ?
Let's find out. We got this
have
the
Samoan
interwebs.
Genes that he makes him look a little bit younger.
We got the interwebs. He is 46 years old.
I was going to guess 46.
I thought he was actually a little younger than that, but 46.
It checks. I mean, we were on the independent circuit with him as well,
and he had been there for a minute.
We saw him as he left to go to TNA. Literally his last match on the independent circuit beforehand.
I think that he does maybe retire. I don't. Also, who's to say when his contract is actually up?
There's his injury time, and it could be 3 years from now.
His contract, that's the thing is we could be talking about this like his contract's up in like April, and his contract is up in like April 2027.
Yeah,
so who knows? I do agree with you. I think Paige wins this. I think that they are. I think they are still going with the experiment that is Hangman Page. And I don't know if they're willing to admit that him holding the title is never as much fun as him chasing the title.
You're right that him holding the title isn't as good as him chasing the title, but you got to give him a title run to pay off the chase.
But this hasn't been it. And that's the other thing.
You're so down on Hangman. Your Hangman hate is showing because I don't think it's been that bad.
I am not big on Hangman. I think Hangman does the same match, even with whether it's Fletcher, whether it's with Joe, whether it was with Moxley, whether it was, and I get it. Everyone has their match, but I'll tell you what. I bet you Hangman hits a dead eye through a table during this match, and I bet you he hits 2 no-look moonsaults.
Listen, don't hold him at a different standard that you don't hold everybody else. John Cena has 1 match. He's got now 6 moves of doom. 6.
He hasn't hit the 6th in a while.
No, what was it? He just did what was the 6th one that I said?
He did the thunder punch. He used to do the thunder punch too.
No, but like there's a new move that he does now that you're like, oh, look at that.
Oh, he was doing the Code Red for a while. He was doing the Code Red for a while too.
Every single other person's finisher.
Yeah, and he does everyone else's finisher. No,
so
Hangman.
Let's get off of Hangman here for having a standard match that he likes to wrestle. It's not a terrible match, kind of like Moxley. So
I mean, Moxley is a terrible match. I do agree with that. Hangman, I don't know, man. Hangman gives transitional champion feels. Both times he's held the title now. He has that vibe. He's great for the chase. He has a look. He has size. He has athleticism. There are certain things that he does that ultimately irk me. And that's not to say that other people don't have those same things, but there are things that he could fix very easily. And I would like him to fix it, and I would like him a lot more. I think his promos have a lot of ability to be better, and not because he doesn't have the delivery aspect of it, because there are certain things that he needs, like if he tweaks just like this much, all of a sudden he has a great promo. And right now he has an okay promo. He could go from an okay to a great promo really easily.
I hear you. I also think you're too hard on him. I don't think he's as bad as you spin it.
I was hard in the review on someone else, so I'm going to take it down. I'm going to go after this guy here.
It doesn't have to be pick and choose here. So I think Hangman is exactly the champion they need in this moment.
Listen, we skipped the last match, so I couldn't be hard on them.
Yeah, I'm not going back for that.
No.
I have no interest in sitting here and listening to that. But at the same time, I think that I think Paige is here. I think he's here to stay for a little bit. Honestly, it's probably someone like Bobby Lashley that takes him down. And I think you get at least 2 more pay-per-views, if not more, of Hangman holding on to his title.
I'm going to only disagree. I'm going to only disagree with Lashley. I think it's going to be the returning MJF.
It could be that too. And that's it's
and I think it's going to be a monster of an MJF. Like it's going to be him coming in and him just cutting throats, basically.
Sure.
Like he's.
I don't think it's Samoa Joe.
He's going to be Hannibal at that point. Like he's going to come through and he's like. I think MJF comes back and he's a complete and utter psychopath, but in a different way than like Moxley and Darby are. I think it's going to be a situation where MJF comes back, wins this title, and he inflicts all the punishment on other people and takes none himself. I'm going to hit you with 17 pile drivers.
And that's where it'll be believable, and I'll take MJF in that one. But as of right now, Hangman, Adam Page.
I think it's Hangman. I don't think Joe is the answer for this. They kind of flopped him over to a not babyface. He's still kind of a babyface, but he's not really a heel. It's a weird situation for these two. And again, I think there's you're not short on heels right now to feed to your babyface champion. And I think that would, I think switching Samoa Joe, this might be a test too. If Joe can't get a great match out of you, or like you can't elevate your match. Let me say it that way. If he can't elevate him even higher than what his matches have been already, then it might be one of those situations of like, where do we go from here?
It might. But I don't think he needs to elevate his matches too much. His stuff with Swerve was fantastic. The match against Kyle Fletcher was really good. So his pay-per-view matches have been solid. Even his Moxley match wasn't the worst. It wasn't good because Moxley was involved. But
yeah, because Moxley's the worst wrestler in the world.
Yeah, so it was there.
I'm not changing that opinion ever.
Nope,
worst wrestler in the world.
And so everyone, that was Wrestle Dream 2025.
It's been a dream.
It sure has. Sometimes nightmares are dreams too. No, this was no nightmare. I know we're hard on AEW sometimes, but like they put on good.
They put on good pay-per-views. This is going to go for 4 hours. I think 4.5 hours.
There'll be another 4 matches that we didn't review here, so don't worry, they'll be there.
Well, they haven't announced any of the pre-show matches, so don't forget about that.
Sure. This was Wrestle Dream 2025. Thank you for joining us. Again, like and subscribe. Tell us your picks below. Tell us why we're right. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us why I'm right and somehow Steve is wrong, even though he picked all the same ones that I picked.
All the same ones.
Let us fill in the blanks on what we may have missed. Please like and subscribe. Tell a friend. If you don't have a friend, tell a stranger. And Steven?
Remember, guys, tuck your chin when you bump.